Well, hello everyone, I'm Darth Browner and welcome to the next part of my Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations playthrough. In the previous video, Phoenix decides to take on the case of Ron Delight, who's been accused of stealing the precious oil from Lordly Taylor department store. But is what it seems. Well, we're going to find out in the trial as Phoenix prepares to take on the mysterious Prosecutor Godot. Hey Nick, what is it? Is something wrong? Nah, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy. Oh, so check out the Master Mask Gussie I bought. You brought this? Where? From the little tents in front of the courthouse. They have all sorts of things for sale. You know, I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. Come on, I'm guilty. Throw the book at me. Who's screaming like that? Oh, Mr. Wright, you made it. Yeah, I did, but it doesn't look like things are going to get any less ugly for you. Because I did it! I'm the criminal! Me! Ugh, he's at it again. I sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor. I admit it! But you don't have the sacred urn, right? Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean that I didn't commit the crime. Normally, when I say, of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but you, yikes. Anyway, I admit that I'm guilty, so make sure they give me a guilty verdict, please. Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie. Oh, Desi, honey. Bonjour. Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French to you at a time like this. Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you. You see, actually the thief is me. Can I tell you something, Nicky Bar? I can guarantee that my Ronnie is innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. So why are you smiling when you say that? Well, if you'll excuse me, I've got some errands I need to care of. I count on you, Nicky boy. Good luck. To be honest, I really don't know whether Ron is Master Mask or not. But there's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred urn right now. Mr. Delight, it's time for you to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I'll have to trust his hero. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defence is ready, Your Honour. What about the prosecution? Are you prepared to... What a stupid question. What did you say? Fine, let me ask you, Your Honour. Are you ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? Well, no, I'm not. I'll pass judgment after I hear arguments from both sides. Well, if you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I'm Godot, legendary prosecutor. I've never lost a case. Ah, he's the one that Detective Atme was talking about. Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? None. What did you say? I've never prosecuted a case before. Never? But you said you've never lost before. Exactly. I've never lost. I've never won before either. Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? Even the mightiest of redwoods begin their lives as mere saplings. Yes, but a mask in a court of law? Don't you know anything? No matter the man, we all wear masks, either on our faces or over our hearts. This guy's the real deal, alright, Nick. Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? So we finally meet Mr. Phoenix Tribe. Nick, is he a friend of yours? No, I don't have any friends that call me Trite. Just who is this masked man? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. Well then, our Prosecutor Godot. It's not Gobo, it's Godot, Your Honour. In any case, please give me your opening statement. Opening statement? Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I have only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Trite. What is it? Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder, How much can you withstand for you in your case break into? Well then, let's hear from the first witness. Alright, my name is... No one has asked for your name, witness. The important thing is what you know, that's all. Start talking, we're listening. Yes, sir. Alright, witness, let's hear about what you know about the thief that stole the urn. Yes, sir. Master Mask is a master of thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago, confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime. This is his 5th heist, and as usual he sent the card on to Lordy Taylor. His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was that Master Mask, sir. Fits his MO to a T. So then the actual identity of this Master Mask is... Mr. Godot, what are you? We're in the middle of a trial here, Mr. Godot. Blacker than a moonless night, hotter and more bitter than hell itself, this coffee. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please, proceed. Very well, it's only coffee after all. What? You can't be letting him slide this early in the trial? Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Well, Nick, what are you going to do? As long as they haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all you can do is show that it wasn't Master Mask who stole the urn. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Just hearing the little in that question is making me nervous. You've said that he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, pal. But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. The supposedly priceless urn doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean? Nick, how can you say such a terrible thing? No, I mean from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price. Well, Prosecutor Godot, what is the value of that then? The appraisers I spoke to said they couldn't attach a price to it. And I mean that in the worst sense. So in other words, it was not the kind of item that Master Mask would normally go after. If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, not the work of Master Mask? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Actually, all I did was point out the contradiction. The argument made itself, but... Well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was this last robbery the work of Master Mask or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? This coffee here, my own special blend. I call it Godot 107. I'm trying to decide what to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. That's the only thing I've got on my mind right now, Mr. Trite. What? If you're really a man, you should clean up your own mess. Sorry, but I don't get what you mean. If you're saying it wasn't Master Mask that stole the urn, then there must be someone imitating Master Mask's methods. A fake. A fake to Mask? Fake to Mask? That sounds so ridiculous, but I like it. Now, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Tryon. Proof that the person who appeared at Lolly Taylor that night was actually a fake. Though I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behaviour, his point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. There's only no I have to prove it. I need proof that the person at Lolly Taylor that night was in fact fake to Mask. The proof is right here. This looks like a photo taken by a security camera. If you look closer, you'll notice something peculiar about it. Huh. Well then, why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? Go on, use this pointer and show us just what about this picture is so peculiar. Right here, of course. You mean Master Mask? I have here a piece of reference I'd like the court to take a look at. Isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning? The problem I have with the security camera photo is the brooch on Damask's chest. A brooch? Here, bailiff, get my steed. We need to retreat at once. A brooch, Your Honour, is a sort of clasp for holding one's cape on. A clasp, eh? Oh, I see now. But the Master Mask in the security camera photo... he has no brooch. That brooch is the same as the emblem on Damask's calling card and serves as a symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, this Master Mask is a fake. I've been fooled again. Order! It's true. Undeniably true. Detective Gumshoe, how could you have overlooked this? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I... Hey now. If you're gonna have pity party, invite me too. Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame in this too. How could you have overlooked such a large breach? Huh, the brooch you're talking about? Do you mean this? Ah, that's Master Mask's brooch. Where did you find it? Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. It was hidden in the shadow of a big female Buddha statue. Buddha statue? He must mean the Amy Face statue. Why didn't you tell me about that, sir? I always put evidence away in my pocket. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence. Oh, this guy's one cool customer. It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left pretty little hickeys on there, too. Hickeys? Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Rondelat's fingerprints. What? What, the defendant's fingerprints are on the brooch? Order in the court. Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch. I've grown attached to my little metallic girlfriend here. Take good care of her. It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left on the back. Obviously, it must have been a big struggle that night at the crime scene. Uh-oh, Phoenix, we have a problem. Huh, you mess with Godot, and you get burned. Oh, he's been playing me like a violin. Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness. Well, but you're done with me? Well, I haven't proved anything yet. You're proving your own incompetence. That's good enough. That doesn't sound good at all. Bailiff, bring the next witness into the courtroom. Finally, time for the ace detective to make his appearance. One second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry it up. Shh, silence. Hehehe. Now I see it's all becoming clear. What's clear? Zari! The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor, a coffee maniac at that. Am I correct? Well, yes, that's right. Huh, not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil. Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Luke Adamy, ace detective and a rising star illuminating the heavens. Boy, these two make a perfect pair. They'd either be best friends or they'd tear each other's heads off. I've heard that on the night of the crime. You were all alone on security detail. You have heard correctly. My specially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe is worth anything, that is. Why is this guy all by himself anyway? There must be some reason, I'm sure of it. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Master Mask, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal? My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course there's only one, only natural. I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening. Well, sir, old-timer, let me explain. We're not speaking of any ordinary thief, but of the king of thieves, the great Master Mask, my arch enemy. That is why my instincts, my years of experience, tell me. Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Mr. Atme, could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? Aha, that belongs to my criminal mastermind, my arch nemesis, Master Mask. It is, in point of fact, Master Mask's brooch. It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. And how that happened? How elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously it wasn't glued on well enough. Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Ripped off? Aha! We can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's only one person that was in a position to have a struggle with the thief. The only person who was on security duty that night. You, Detective Atme. Detective Atme, you must have fought with the thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness giving false testimony is a serious crime. No, wait just a moment, sir, old-timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. Hehehe. I just remembered, Your Honour. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately. The true measure of a man is the amount of work he does. That's what I always say. Nick, you can only handle one case at a time, isn't that right? You talk too much. Witness, so are you now saying that you and the thief fought? Hold on, that's quite enough, Your Honour. Excuse me? Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules. Indeed, I understand. I, Luke Adme, agree completely. Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, Luke Adme cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true, bam, and that's all she wrote. So in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Master Mask. Correct. It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. Seems that my memory has been a tad jumbled, so to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes with which case. That can't be good. Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powericious. Powericious? I assumed the Atme fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What do I do now? Shall I ask more about this? What is his Atme fighting style? I'm sorry, that's a trade secret. I really can't say any more. But I suppose I can tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall, that way no one can get behind you. That's it. That's the Atme fighting style. Of course it's important. We've learned to detect a secret technique after all. Yes, indeed. I remember to use it if ever I take a walk alone late at night. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It's creeping me out. Now then, witness. Well, go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. I put my back to the wall to fight, but the thief's blow landed upon my third eye. Detective Atme, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun this is, Sir Lawyer. It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armoured feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere beside the door. Then my arch-nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here. From behind? Just now you testified he struck you on the forehead. Hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. It seems I've made another mistake. Detective Atme, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong. To err is to humour and to forget divine. Humans aren't machines, they have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes. Hey, hold on, it's not as pretty as that. Really? Well, what is it like then? Always chase a riddle down to the end, and that's one of my rules. This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things round. Mr. Wright, what exactly is it that you're asserting? Very well, Your Honour. The defence asserts that... The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atme's true identity is actually Master Mask. Yeah. This is getting good. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atme's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scenes, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then in his last case he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. That's because I analysed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a... Oh please, the explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atme. Truth is that you are in fact Master Mask. But Mr. Wright, this photo clearly shows Mr. Master Mask. The security camera belongs to Lordly Taylor department store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. Then he simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urn. So the ace detective is actually an ace thief? Is this true, witness? Aha. The mask's MO is pure genius, and so am I. Look at me, ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I'm impressed, Sir Lawyer. What? Witness? You're admitting it? Nick, now's your chance. Yes, time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atme, when you assume the thief's identity... Godot Blend 102, my personal favourite. Mr. Godot! The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true. But Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I will admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt, Mr. Trine. If this detective really is the thief, then show us the proof of your claim. But that better be as hot and as perfect as the copy dripping down your face. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. This court would like to see the decisive proof you have. Quickly! Huh? Oh, yes, of course. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nick? Atme looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can, but can I really do it? Decisive evidence proves Luke Atme's in fact Master Mask. Proof? Of course, I've got nothing. Huh, just what I thought. A man has to hold his head up high no matter how hard things get after all. Ugh. I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. It's no good, I'll be got to stay on the attack. I'll never get another chance to prove that this guy is the thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think harder and try again. It's no good. I'm just not ready yet. But are you going to just give up and let us lose this? So you come to your senses, have you, Sir Lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack at all. Seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding this witness is lifted. Mr. Godot, if you have anything further to add, then. Whoa, who? Who are you? That doesn't really matter right now, does it? Mr. Light, what are you doing here? Nicky Bar? Thing you've been looking for? I think I found it. You mean that bag? No, not the bag. What's inside the bag? Well, so that's the sacred urn, Nick. It's the urn. Order, you, madame. Urn? Where did you find it? You'll never believe it. It was in the office of Mr. Fence, Prince Ace Detective. Look at me. Oh, Desi, you're the best. Well, how do you explain that one, Mr. Acme? Even you are going to have a hard time weaseling out of this one. Huh. Pathetic. Mr. Godot, do you have something you wish to say? Yes, Your Honor. It simply amazes me how much quickly times change. In the old days, a man was to be taken at his word. Quite truly said. I'll still deny that Mr. Acme is involved. For casting aspersions at Detective Acme, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree Delat, is that correct? Yes, what about it? Huh, how charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring. What are you insinuating? As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered that stolen it anywhere. Including the office of the good detective here. So you found the urn? What does that prove? Certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it. What? I just brought it here from the detective's office. Please, madame, this town's already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound tragedy we've been witness to. You're wrong. I'd never do such a thing. Mr. Light, please, Nicky Bar, you gotta help me talk some sense to these people. There must be some way. I've got to prove that Irma was actually in the Acme Detective Agency. I can prove where this urn was, but the fingerprints on it. Fingerprints, eh? Oh, come now. Now you're really making me laugh, Sir Lawyer. Fingerprints indeed. May I go on? Good. Now it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I'm always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see. So unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence of anything. What about it, Mr. Wright? This witness's fingerprints would mean nothing anyway. Nick, what are you going to do now? I've come too far to turn back now. Acme must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday, and there I'm sure someone must have left their fingerprints on it. The defence proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. So, what is all this fuss about fingerprints anyway? Mr. Acme, do you recall the events of yesterday? Hey Nick, come on, open it up. Hey, wait a minute, we can't just open his private property. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy. This is an important investigation. Well, what's in there? Hang on a sec, I'm taking it out now. Whatever it is, it feels kind of hard and smooth. Well, hello there. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the bag at that time, but I did touch what was inside. What? You touched it? And I remember it very well. It was smooth and hard. Well, that was just... Your Honour, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. My fingerprints are on there. It proves that the urn was in Detective Acme's office. Well, even if your fingerprints are on the urn, It still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it? Of course it does. What did you say? It's not what I say, but what Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibition, said. I polished it until it was just about glowing. I thought maybe I could make it look more valuable. If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it was after that was yesterday, at the Acme Detective Agency. Ha! This blend, Godot Blend 107, I've decided it's a little too bitter after all. Order, order, order. I accept the defence's request. Bailiff, take this urn and... Wait a moment, Your Honour, there's no need for that. No need, you say? Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn. What are you saying? Yes, I've finally broken him down. Ha 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 ha! Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. This guy's nuttier than a fruitcake. You see, it was me all along. I am the one and only Master Mask. I hope you enjoyed my little performance. Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Acme's condition? He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honour. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be. Well, it looks like the matter has been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of thief. Nick, you were right after all. Yeah, I guess Mr. Delight really wasn't the thief. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight... Wrong, I tell you. I mean, not exactly wrong so much, but actually not right is what I really tried to say. Oh no, he's not. This can't be happening. The thief, the sneaky, odious thief, has been stealing all the treasures. It's me, I'm him. I'm the one you want. I'm the thief, I tell you. So do it. Pronounce me guilty, please. I don't know what kind of kangaroo court you all think this is, but... The true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry and pass judge. What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you. Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee. Ha. Hey there, Mr. Thief. Yes, sir? If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean. If you are Master Mask, then prove it. That's what it means. Yes, sir, I'll be happy to. He says he'll be happy to, Nick. It's kind of cute. He's 100% committed to his fantasy. Goodbye. Now just remember one thing. Boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man. I know that. I won't fail, I swear. Okay then, talk. We're all listening. Oh well, let's all have a listen to his confession. The truth is, I've been Master Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm actually Master Mask, can you? I have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen, after all. I donned my costume that night and dancing descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right there in the photo, that's me! As to my brooch, I snagged it on the door handle and it got torn off, that's all. I don't like the direction this trial has taken, but this is how every trial goes, at least with me anyway. Huh. You're all doing great. Oh, stop it, Mr. Godot, you're embarrassing me. Like I said, you're only going to get that one chance to testify, alright? But if you make it through this without guns, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only Master Mask. Thanks so much, Mr. Godot. I'll do my best. Alright, Mr. Wright, I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination. Mr. Delight, this wallet belongs to you, correct? Ah, yes, it does. I lost it somewhere. Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away. No, you don't understand. This is an important piece of evidence. Evidence? Mr. Delight, when did you first notice that you lost your wallet? Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I know I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner. This wallet was found at approximately 1 o'clock at the KB Security Headquarters. What? Surely you're not serious. Yes, I am serious. This proves that Mr. Delight was in fact at KB Security that night. So if the defendant was at KB Security at 1 in the morning, then that proves that he was a watertight alibi. No! Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordley Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car, according to Larry anyway. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? And stop drinking that coffee. Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong. You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. Alright, I'll try. I'll do it. I will. You really got Mr. Delight all worked up. Yeah, he's like a kid at his first day at school. Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I drop my wallet at KB Security? So I must have planted it there to make it look like I was there and not at the heist. Planted it there? He really is reaching now. Mr. Delight, you probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? The keycard to KB Security's CEO's office. No. Ha, that was a pretty good try, Mr. Trite. Unfortunately, you've overlooked one small thing. What? Motive, of course. Why would this thief go to KB Security in the middle of the night anyway? Well, Mr. Wright, it looks like you need some more evidence after all. This stupid kid. Now then, let's see your evidence. The evidence that shows why Mr. Delight went to KB Security at 1 AM that night. Mr. Delight, I believe you've seen this before, correct? That's... What is it? A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail? Yes, basically it says bring $50,000. That certainly sounds like blackmail, alright. At the time of the theft, Mr. Delight was dealing with the blackmailer himself. In KB Security's CEO office, a full half an hour away from the scene of the crime. No. Order. So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security. It's like a perfect case of defense. You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Well, let's just say that my Godot Blend 107 impressed me a lot more. What are you trying to say? You say the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company, but did you actually investigate the CEO at all? Huh? Well, no, I guess not. Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof? I'm not sure what I think of that. Not sure what I think of that, at least I know what I think of you. Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. Claim that the defendant entered the CEO's office, but you will need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. Wright. Nick, I think we're going to have to track down the CEO guy. No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all. What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite? There's someone else who can testify. This is the person who can testify the key card was used. Who is this useless-looking young man? You don't remember him, Your Honour? Not exactly, but just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat. That is savage. And I love it. Judge, you are so bitchy. It looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago. He probably blocked that memory out on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KB Security that night. Oh? Question at hand is, this keycard. Yep, that's the keycard they use in the building I work. According to serial number, this one is for the CEO's office. You need to get into that room, and every time you use that card it leaves a record. Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover this truth simply by analysing this keycard's data. Well, Mr. Godot, the name of the CEO of Security is Cain Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but got the keycard data here. So what does it show? Each keycard has its own serial number and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, this card was used at 1 AM on the morning of the crime. But that means it can't be Mr. Delight dressed as Master Mask. It looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good old cup of joe. So then, Ron Delight was clearly in the office of KB Security CEO at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be Master Mask. Good job you did it, Nick! That's enough. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of thief. What's wrong, Your Honour? I'm ready to pass judgment. But before I do that, do you have any further objections? No, Your Honour. Very well. What finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight? Court is now adjourned. Nick, you did it! You were right after all. Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky Bar! Oh, Mr. Light, I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky Bar. I don't know how I can ever repay you. Oh, shucks. Thanks, Mr. Light. I just know I'm blushing. Congratulations, Mr. Nick! Oh, Pearls, I've got a bad feeling about this. Who is this woman? Oh, she's nobody. She's just, You're blushing! How dare you do this in front of the Mystic Mire? You should be ashamed of yourself. Ouch, she slapped me. Pearly? This woman is Miss Desiree Delight. She's our client's wife. Mr. Nick? Yes? You're even worse than I thought. Going behind the back of your own client? No, you've got it all wrong. I'll never forgive you. Ow, double slap. Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, right? We got the sacred urn back and the thief has been caught. You're so right, and it's all thanks to Nicky Bar here. But actually, it was you, Miss Delight, that brought us our urn back. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, please, you're embarrassing me. If we win the case, then why does this guy still look so glum? Oh, I am the thief. Actually, what's the point now? What is it, honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie. I know that and I appreciate it, Desi. But the thing is, come on, give the kid some time. He's just got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo? Mr. Godot, what are you doing here? Oh, come on, I just came here to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Track. Maybe you should learn my name before you call me buddy. Well, playtime is over. Huh? Early this morning, the body of Cain Bullard was discovered. Cain Bullard? Where have I heard that name before? Isn't that the name of the CEO of KB Security? Wait, the body? The estimated time of death was 1 AM on October 12th. 1 AM on October 12th? You don't mean... That's right, amigo. At the same time that the cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was being murdered. So then, what are you doing here? Oh, come on, you figured it out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about that piece of info I helped you out with today? Help me out? What? October 12th at 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron Delight was in the CEO's office, the scene of the murder. After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbrued with utter rage. What are you saying? Imbrued with rage? Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard. An employee of KB Security? It looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is going to be the noose that gets him hanged. Kind of an anti-alibi. No way. He can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred. No, that's a lie. It can't be true. But I'm a thief, I tell you. Rounded out, you're going back to prison again. This time the charge is much more serious. This time you'll be tried for murder. What? This is impossible. I'm looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Track. You and I aren't through with each other yet. Surely you won't back down from the challenge. You've never been a coward. Mr. Nick, is there something personal between you two? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. At least let me have some fun while I'm here. This guy, who the heck is he? He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced. Well, then, time to say goodbye to Mr. Delight. Nick, how could this be happening? Right in front of our very own eyes, our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me. Ah, Ronnie! Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny. What's going to happen next? Wow, that was twisty. That was very, 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 very twisty. Hope you all enjoyed that. This has been Darth Brandon. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a like and hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you on the next video. Ciao for now, everyone. Bye-sies.